turned the corner, and those overdose deaths are starting to go down.
Finally, after years of rapidly increasing fentanyl overdose deaths, small signs of hope. From harsher penalties for dealers to more accessible overdose treatments, we'll take an in-depth look at the tools medics say are finally helping slow a sharp spike in overdose deaths here in Austin.
And we are dry for now, but times of drizzle, showers, and fog over the next couple of days. We'll walk you through both ahead of a strong cold front in first warning weather.
And thanks so much for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Daniel Marin.
And I'm Jennifer Sanders. After a flurry of elections, your body of local leaders is now set.
That's right. You'll now have 3 new Austin City Council members, including District Number 7's Mike Siegel, who is projected to win that district after a runoff election over the weekend. Travis County data shows a little more than 20,000 ballots were cast during the runoff election.
Mike Siegel got just north of 51% of the vote in that city council race. Nearly 8,600 people in his district, District 7, voted.
And Siegel joins a dais of leaders next year who have made significant changes to how our city operates just within the past 12 months. KXAN's Grace Reeder takes a look at the decisions the city council made this year that impact Austinites the most.
Austin City Council is done with regular council meetings this year after this one last week. Next time this body votes on major policy that impacts you, there will be 3 new voices on this dais.
It's what our local governments do that have the most impact in our lives.
That's St. Ed's political science professor Brian Smith. And if you don't agree with his assessment of how important our local government is, just take a walk with us through some of the most significant decisions Austin City Council has made on your behalf in 2024. We'll start back in May, where after 14 hours of public debate, City Council signed off on a change to our land development code called Home Part 2. It dropped minimum lot size requirements. In other words, you now need less land to build a house in Austin.
I should be able to sell that tiny home at a price that I haven't been able to sell anything at for many, many, many years.
Around the same time, Austin City Council picked its next permanent city manager, T.C. Broadnax. He serves as the functional CEO of our city and makes roughly $470,000 a year doing it.
I think he is going to prove to be very worthy of that salary moving forward.
And just a few months ago, Austin City Council signed off on a labor agreement between the city and its police union. It was a contentious, roughly year-and-a-half decision in the making. Mayor Kirk Watson said the vote was our city, quote, turning the corner on public safety.
A timely police response is crucial. However, due to APD vacancy rates, delayed response times have escalated.
Among a long list of other things, Austin City Council also approved the hiring of a new police chief, signed off on a record $5.9 billion budget, and voted to keep a temporary homeless shelter at the marshalling yard open until at least next year. Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
And Austin City Council's next regular council meeting happens on January 30th. That's when we will first see the new members, Krista Lane, Mark Dushin, and Mike Siegel.
And going in depth right now, other cities like Dallas have attendance rules for their council members and track attendance for constituents, but Austin does not. So KXAN City Hall reporter Grace Reeder and digital data reporter Christopher Adams teamed up this year to create this attendance tracker for Austin City Council. And the project began after our investigation found District 1 City Council member was missing more meetings than all of her colleagues combined. You can find that attendance tracker on our website, KXAN.com, and we'll keep it going in 2025.
All right, joined now by Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannon, and it's a warm night out there.
Yeah, typical high temperatures this time of year, 64. Right now, at 10 o'clock at night, we're at 68. So a very warm night, another muggy night ahead as well. You can see the 68 there that we have in Austin, with most of Central Texas in the mid to upper 60s at this hour. What we don't have much of, if any, is drizzle for now, or fog for now. But as we've got this partly cloudy sky, we do expect some areas of fog and drizzle will develop by morning. You can see what happens to the visibility here by 8. Starts to lower a little bit, perhaps not super dense fog, but some areas of fog and drizzle should develop in time for tomorrow morning. So we'll call it patchy drizzle, patchy fog, thickening cloud cover as overnight lows drop down to 62. So about 6 degrees cooler than we are right now. So coming up in first warning weather, we'll take you through the drizzle and shower chances of the next couple of days until a cold front on Wednesday dries us out and cools us off, and we'll take you through the cooler and drier days that follow.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. We are following some breaking news out of Cedar Park. Police say a person died after an auto pedestrian accident at Royal Lane and Lone Star Drive. That's just west of Highway 183 and Whitestone Boulevard. The section of Royal Lane between Whitestone and Lone Star is blocked off right now while police investigate. Cedar Park police say they'll likely release more details tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on KXAN.com.
Well, tonight we're taking an in-depth look at the landscape of fentanyl overdoses in the city of Austin. This comes as police arrested 2 people this month in connection with 2 fentanyl deaths from last year. Medics tell KXAN's Brianna Hollis that while we're still very much in crisis, they do see signs of hope.
We have hope for the first time.
Assistant Chief Stephen White with Austin Travis County EMS is referring to the latest overdose statistics out of the medical examiner's office. With exponential spikes since 2019, the rate of increase finally started to slow last year.
And the fentanyl death rate was starting to plateau a little bit.
A sign of progress, White says, but the work isn't done. And as KXAN's extensive coverage of this over the years has shown, this impacts real people.
There is no punishment that is harsh enough to bring back my daughter.
Leaders are trying to tackle this from all angles. On the law enforcement side, stricter state laws mean harsher penalties for dealers, which contributed to APD's 2 recent arrests for deaths that happened last year. In one case, police say a 64-year-old man knowingly gave fentanyl to a 31-year-old. In another case, APD says a 35-year-old man gave a 59-year-old, quote, a little bit of fentanyl for $5 because the victim asked for it.
It's so nuanced and complicated that it's really taken a team effort.
EMS now has enough doses of Narcan, which is an overdose reversing medicine, to stock every ambulance. And they've given out about 6,000 of those kits.
When they identify somebody, on the scene of a call for help that could use those kits, they now have them available to distribute.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
And according to Texas law, if someone knowingly gives fentanyl to someone else and the recipient dies, the person who gave the drugs can be charged with murder.
State lawmakers are taking up another effort to decriminalize fentanyl test strips. A House and Senate bill addressing the strips were filed earlier this month, and those strips can alert drug users to the presence of fentanyl, which is often more deadly and potent than other drugs. Previous efforts failed to make it to the governor's desk despite bipartisan support. It passed in the Texas House but failed to make it through the Senate. Last legislative session, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he supported decriminalization. New details tonight on the deadly school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. Police say 3 people died, including a teacher and a student, after a student at Abundant Life Christian School opened fire.
6 others were injured. 2 of those people are in critical condition. Tonight, Madison police revealed the suspect was a 15-year-old girl, a student at the school. She died on the way to the hospital of what police believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police also confirmed they are investigating a home in connection to the shooting. A search warrant was executed at the home, but it's still not clear exactly how the location is connected to the investigation.
At this time, we're still working on a motive, trying to determine why this happened. We know that there is some information that may be circulating about the shooter. I cannot, at this time, formally tell you the age or gender or name of the shooter. We do not want to compromise any part of the investigation.
And police say the suspected shooter's parents are cooperating with investigators.
Texas's abortion pill lawsuit against a New York doctor marks a new challenge to interstate telemedicine. Karina Dominguez reports now from Albany.
After that landmark Supreme Court decision in 2022, many states outlawed abortion, while other states adopted measures to protect doctors who provide abortion services. The SHIELD law is intended to protect providers from being punished for prescribing abortion pills to patients in states with bans, prescriptions that are made online or over the phone. The lawsuit claims a New York doctor violated Texas laws and seeks up to $250,000 and an injunction on that doctor for providing abortion pills to a Texas woman. Attorney and partner at Tully Rinke, Donald Chesworth, sheds light on the situation.
The first question is going to be, is writing a prescription practicing medicine? And if it is, then I think the law clearly prohibits anybody from doing it in a state that they're not licensed in.
Chesworth says there's a second question that will come into play.
Can a doctor write a prescription for a patient who is not a resident of this state where the doctor is licensed?
In 2023, Governor Kathy Hochul signed the bill to provide legal protections to doctors who prescribe abortion pills to out-of-state patients via telehealth.
Our own providers, our New York providers, are threatened by other states, governors, law enforcement officials. This is New York. We don't respond well to threats.
New York Attorney General Letitia James issued a statement saying, restricting access to these pills doesn't help Americans, it harms them. That's why we enacted our SHIELD law, establishing New York as a beacon of reproductive freedom and protecting our providers from out-of-state anti-choice attacks. I will continue to protect people's reproductive rights and access to life-saving health care.
That was Karina Dominguez reporting. President-elect Donald Trump said he is working with Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to file a restraining order against the Biden administration. This comes after reports that the administration is selling off border wall materials through a government surplus auction house. A Customs and Border Protection official confirmed to our partners at Border Report that those parts were meant for border wall construction in Arizona. KXAN reached out to Paxton's office but did not get a response by the time of this newscast. But other Texas leaders are promising to help the incoming president. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, says make no mistake, Texas will make every effort to do whatever it takes to assist the president. He says they're going to secure the border once and for all for the people of America and Texas. And Patrick also says Texas will buy any portions of the wall up for sale and give it to the Trump administration if it makes economic sense. A team from the Texas Facilities Commission did look at some of the steel bollards that were up for sale, but said they were mostly junk. That's according to the Lieutenant Governor. AT&T Stadium's name is going to change, but only when the city of Arlington hosts the 2026 World Cup.
As Maria Guerrero explains, the mayor is okay with the change, but not the name.
There is no greater stage than this.
It's anticipated to be the grandest spotlight DFW has ever seen, especially for the city hosting all 9 World Cup matches.
Everybody's going to be watching this, and they deserve to know where the stadium is, and it's in Arlington, Texas.
Mayor Jim Ross makes no qualms over FIFA directing host stadiums to temporarily change their official names for the tournament, mostly over branding policies. Arlington's top administrator elected to promote and attract new business isn't thrilled about the governing body directing arenas to be named for whichever major city they are in or near. So as of now, AT&T Stadium is set to be Dallas Stadium for the World Cup.
Calling that stadium by some other city's name is really going to go hard with over 400,000 residents in Arlington.
This week, there was a lighthearted back and forth with the head of the Dallas Sports Commission who could help sway FIFA.
I know that it says Dallas Stadium on there. We are working very closely with FIFA to make that modification to Arlington Dallas Stadium, Dallas Arlington Stadium. Arlington Dallas Stadium. Working to make that modification, Mayor.
We're happy to share it, but give us your best effort on this. This isn't a dig at Dallas. I love our neighbors over there to the east.
Ross knows the city has little say in the matter, but stresses its importance.
You go to Frisco and see what they've done with the PGA, with the star up there. They deserve every bit of recognition that they get there. You go to Fort Worth and see what they're doing with the Stockyards and Dickies Arena. They deserve every bit of recognition there. Go to Dallas and see what they're doing with AAC and everything else going on over there. They deserve that recognition.
Arlington expects an update sometime in early 2025.
Let's call it the Arlington Dallas Stadium and let's move on. And let's show the world how North Texas can host the best World Cup ever.
All right, we'll see how that plays out. Okay, the wet stretch continues.
It sure does, and I know the rain hasn't added up to a lot in most areas, but it's technically one of our wettest stretches of the whole year. We have had 4 days in a row since last Friday through today of measurable rain in Austin. We have only had one stretch of weather this whole year that has lasted longer as far as consecutive wet days. And that was all the way back in January. So if we get 1/100th of an inch of rain tomorrow at Austin's Camp Mabry, then that will be our 5th day. It's possible, by the way. We're missing out on a lot of the rain here tonight. That is to the north and northeast of us ahead of this weakening front that is stalling out and not moving any farther south and east here. We don't expect for the rest of the night. There still may be some additional showers that form near this front during the overnight hours, and certainly some of our computer models are suggesting some pretty weak showers here during the middle of the night into the early morning hours, a few of which could still sneak into the Austin metro. I think you're more likely to get drizzle than a shower, but the difference is not much, right? It's certainly going to be some wet weather for some of us overnight into tomorrow morning, but not everybody. As we head through the day, the morning drizzle or showers dry out. And then the sun comes out as we head into the middle of the day and into the afternoon. Should be another very warm afternoon tomorrow, up near 80 again. Then we get into tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. We'll likely start with a lot of low clouds, drizzle, and some fog. But watch out, there's another cold front. This one's going to make progress and move through the entire area on Wednesday, bringing widely scattered showers along with it here Wednesday morning. That front should be out of here for the afternoon, and then the sun's going to come out. We're not going to get much rain over the next couple of days. A few 100ths of an inch of rain, and a couple spots, maybe a couple of 10ths of an inch of rain, but it's rain nonetheless. We're also going to get some wind as this front moves through Wednesday morning, gusting in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range, but those wind speeds then starting to come down as we get into Wednesday evening. In the temperature department, we're well into the 60s now. We'll be down in the low 60s and then upper 70s to near 80 here tomorrow afternoon. So we'll go with a high of 79 tomorrow with a 20% chance of rain. Then that cold front Wednesday knocks us down into the 60s for daytime highs. And you'll also notice the humidity comes crashing down here Wednesday morning. It's going to start feeling comfortable again. Here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 60s with a good amount of sunshine. We get into Monday and we're back in the 70s again.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
It's game week, and this week Texas is immersed in preparation for the opening round of the college football playoff as the Longhorns will take on the ACC champs, Clemson. The team practicing this evening at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium, where they will kick off against the Tigers on Saturday. As you can expect, it was a high level of energy out there. They had a few days off last week, still practice though, and had the weekend off, but no more rest as Texas tries to go from being one of 12 in the playoffs to number 1 in late January. It all starts this Saturday, and Sark says his team's energy level displays they're ready for action.
We had really good energy in practice, but we were a little kind of giddy, almost like you could feel like, man, we're in the playoffs, this is fun, but we're not playing right away. And I really challenged them on Friday's practice to come with the right intent, the right mental intensity, and they really responded. So I think our energy level is really high, which is a positive. I just want to make sure we're funneling that energy in the right direction, and that's focusing on what we need to do to play well. And our guys always respond. You know, when I challenge them with things, they respond, and so I feel good about that.
Another thing that makes this matchup fun is the mini Westlake reunion that will take place. The homegrown headliners on the Texas side are Michael Taft, Ethan Burke, Colton Vasek, and offensive lineman Connor Robertson. The starting quarterback for Clemson is Cade Klubnik, who has thrown 33 touchdowns and over 3,000 yards this season. These guys used to be all on the same page, winning state championships together. This week, they'll compete at the next level to keep their respective national championship hopes alive.
We communicated when we found out we were playing each other, and it was all love. Love you, dude. Love you, too. So we're both excited to go play in this game. It feels a little weird watching Cade on tape, knowing that he was my quarterback for a couple of years, and now I'm playing against him. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see those guys. You know, I haven't seen them in a while, and have great relationships with all those guys, and it'll be cool.
I'm a competitor. No matter who it is, I'm a competitor. My job is to take my opponent's soul. That's what I try to do. So no matter if it's my best friend or the guy that I hate the most on this planet, that's my job. That's my goal on the field.
All right, I'm running short on time, so I got to run through this real quick. The AP All-American team list was revealed today. 5 Longhorns named AP All-Americans. Taft was named to the second team. Another defensive back, the Thorpe Award winner, Jahdae Barron, is a first-team All-American. Defensive lineman Alfred Collins named to the second team. Linebacker Anthony Hill named second team as well. Offensive lineman Kelvin Banks Jr. named to the first team. Our live 1-hour pregame show, Texas Game Day, returns Saturday as well. Join me, Alex Okafor, Dan Neal, Noah Gross, and Roger Wallace. It all starts Saturday over on KBVO at 2 p.m. NHL, the Dallas Stars seeking to snap the Washington Capitals 4-game winning streak and 9-game point streak tonight. Third period, Caps up 1-0 on the power play. Rope Hint scores the goal to tie it. 4 minutes later, Liam Bichel with the beautiful shot to give the Stars the 2-1 lead. Bichel's second goal of the season. Third period, same score, Stars on the attack. Rope Hintz again, his second goal of the night. Stars win this one over Washington 3-1. You can get more sports, if you like sports, on KXAN.com.